What's up, guys? Welcome to LearntoCode.tech. Today we'll be discussing the daily method series, and our method of the day is JavaScript's find method. Okay, so how exactly do we describe the find method? Well, the find method in JavaScript is an iteration procedure used to access the first element within an array that meets our provided condition. Okay, so what exactly does that mean, right? How exactly do we use it? So the way we use it is that we invoke the find method on an array instance, right? So if you have a list of elements within an array, we're going to call the find method using dot notation. We're going to pass it a callback function. That callback function is going to have a conditional, and that conditional is going to determine what element gets returned back from the find method. So let's check out exactly how that works with an example. As you can see here, we have a list of movies. It's an array of objects. Each object contains three properties: the title property, the genre property, as well as the year released property. Now, let's imagine a situation where we want to find the genre of a particular movie, and we kind of just want to find the first element within the array that meets this particular genre that we pass in. We don't want another list of elements or movie objects containing that year. We just want the first one that we can find. Nor do we want an entire list of genres returned to us. We just want the first one that we can find, right? So if you can see here in the example, I created a function called find movie by genre. Now, essentially what the function does is it takes a genre, and what it's going to do is it's going to use this conditional here to evaluate each object within the array of movies, and it's going to compare that against the genre that we passed in, right? So find iterates over the movies object. It uses this callback in order to conduct the comparison, and what it's going to do is once it finds that comparison, it'll jump out that loop, that entire iteration, and it's going to return that movie object that meets this criteria. It's that simple. If it doesn't find anything at all, then it's going to return undefined. As you can see here, I'm already actually logging out the movies by year. So what we're going to look for is the first movie that actually meets the criteria of being released in the year 1994. And I'll actually run that again just so you can see we get Pulp Fiction. Right, so it was released in 1994. Let's also come over here. Let's take a look at the list of movie objects. We're going to start from the top. The top. We're going to start from the top going downward. And as you can see, the first movie containing a release date of 1994 is in fact Pulp Fiction. Heat comes after that, so we actually don't return it. Because remember, we're going to just return the first element that we reach. And then that's it. That's how you successfully use the find method in JavaScript.